me take my house is getting redone right now, so I got my room's a mess. But if you hear any loud screaming in the background or noises, it's the work.
What did he say?
It's not a miracle we need it. And no, I wouldn't let you think so. Fall it, fall it, fall it, fall it. Fall it, fall it, fall it, fall it. Fall it, fall it.
All right, cool. All right, so question 1. What made you want to start producing music?
So I started with music way back when I was younger, maybe about 12 years old. 12, 13, I'd always dabble around just in instruments. Like I got piano right here, guitar. And I got to the point where I found so much satisfaction from playing along to my favorite songs and stuff. But I've reached a point where it's like, yeah, this is great, but I love it so much. I want to do something more with it. So I started to kind of mess around in like GarageBand and different DAWs that I could make music on. And I started with rap beats because it was kind of easy, and that's what I was into at the time in junior year of high school. So I started doing rap beats and stuff to kind of learn the program. And so I started producing about junior year, and then I started taking it seriously senior year. And I wanted to make a name for myself, more so just ghost producing on rap beats and stuff for rappers. So started like more dance music senior year, which was last year for me. And yeah, that's how I kind of got into it, just having a love for music and wanting to do more with it than just play along to songs and stuff.
That's awesome. So were you selling your rap beats for other producers, or?
Yeah, so I would produce a rap beat or a bunch, and I just have them like in a file, and then I just reach out to rappers, no like big name rappers, all like SoundCloud rappers that are looking for beats. I'd sell them for $50, $60, which was cool, but it reached a point I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to make a name for myself more.
So that was during your high school years?
Yeah, I started making the rap beats about mid-junior year, and I kind of stuck with that for about 8 months. And I just, like, rap is great, hip-hop's awesome, a lot of influence in the hip-hop community, but for me, just dance music is such a wide variety, and you can make so much with it, so I kind of stepped towards that.
Okay. What DAW were you using when you started?
For like a month, I was going with like GarageBand just to like kind of learn how to do it and mess around on it and stuff. But then I downloaded FL Studio, and that's what I produce on now. And since then, I've kind of just been learning FL Studio and mastering it and just being comfortable with it. But I used the demo version for like a year and a half before. I couldn't save any projects, only I could export them, which didn't do crap. So.
But you were practicing, right? So that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said you play instruments?
Yeah, so I play piano is what I started with, and I started drums way back in the day, just kind of messing around, and then piano and guitar are like my two main instruments that I play. I try to record a lot of those on songs I do.
Were you self-taught, or did you did you have a teacher?
So I tried teachers and stuff, but like for me, I could never really do just teaching sessions because I felt like it was forced. And for me, like my love for music came from that satisfaction. I didn't get satisfaction from someone telling me learn how to play this Mozart song and have it ready by the next time we do it. So I was self-taught just from YouTube and stuff.
Sweet. That's awesome, because it's like more creativity comes out that way.
That's what I feel the same way too. More creativity with just self-teaching, because you're not boxed into just one genre or one type of something. I thought they were saying something. You're not like boxed into just what you're trying to learn from your teacher stuff. You can learn EDM songs, you can learn folk songs, country songs, and so it's good. I like being able to kind of go with everything with teaching yourself. You can do whatever. Cool.
So what type of songs were you learning from YouTube? Like pop songs or?
So So for piano, I started when I was more like think it was 9 or 10, and I was kind of just like learning. I've always had like an ear for music, so I'd hear a song and I'd try to like replicate the notes and like the melody and stuff, and then it depended. It was whatever I was listening to. So back then it was a lot of like bands and stuff. So like I was big on The Fray and The Script and just a lot of pop songs in a day that people listen to. Chainsmokers a little later on, because that's a big influence for me. But just like pop songs, whatever I could play. I liked playing for people. So if there was a song that was like kind of going viral or that people enjoyed or that I was listening to at the time, I'd want to learn it just so if I ever get to a piano, I could play that song and people would be like, oh wow, pretty cool. So it makes it stop.
That's awesome. So how did you learn to DJ?
So DJing, I self-taught as well, just because I can't do teachers and stuff. But I actually started DJing right before my freshman year of college, which I'm still in. Like August, it's when I started because I was getting more into electronic music, and I did the remix for Two Friends, and I was like, damn, if I continue doing this, I could make a career out of it. But most people or most artists in the dance industry, they are all DJs too, and they can play a show. They don't come out and play guitar for dance music and stuff. So I wanted to more so learn to DJ so I could DJ the clubs and bars at my school, UCF, because I've never been one to like really go out and party and stuff, but I loved like being around people still and making music. So I thought might as well find the best of both worlds here. So I taught myself about August, and from like August to September, I was like in the learning phase, and then after that, it kind of just started. I got more confident with it and just started doing it a lot more and stuff.
Was there ever that fear, like with your first show, that I don't know what I'm doing, or?
I was, so by the time I got booked to do my first gig, which was at the Knights Pub, it's a bar that I have residency at for DJing, I was comfortable, but I had never DJ'd in front of other people, so I was super nervous. I was comfortable though. I knew what I was doing, and I was on I had a small board. Now I've upgraded a little, but I had a small little Newmark board for anyone that knows DJing equipment, and it doesn't do a lot. Just there's 2 channels, you mix 2 songs, and yeah, I wasn't too nervous, but I was nervous, but I knew once I got there, like I'd feel comfortable just because music, it's always been my thing. So like that's my, that's where I feel most comfortable, whether I'm playing a song. But I was nervous, the anticipation for it, like leading up to it sucked. And it still is, like I get nervous. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
it was good. Huh? Yeah.
And so, with your how many shows would you say that you've done now?
Well, like shows and gigs for me, like they're different because like a show for me is like I'm like people are coming to see me, and right now I'm kind of like an open format DJ. I come and spin at bars and I play music people want to hear and stuff. So as far as shows, my first one would be tomorrow, who I'm opening for Shipwreck. But gigs wise, I've probably done like probably close to like 150 so far.
What did he say?
I'll do like 4 or 5 a week just because like I love it so much and it's good. But yeah, it's a lot, but probably about anywhere from like 125 to 150, I'd say so far.
Okay. I want to get back to that DJ stuff.
Yeah.
But so for aspiring DJs, what rules or skills would you say they would need to be successful?
The most important thing I would say is know your crowd. So that means you'll hear DJs talk about reading your crowd and seeing what they like, what they want, and continue to play that. But knowing your crowd is different than that. Knowing your crowd is when I go to Gainesville and I DJ for UF, they love house music. They love any type of music that's 120 to 130 beats per minute, and that's going to get their heart pumping and stuff. They love that, whether they know the lyrics or not. And that's just like Gainesville has been known for, they just love their house music. UCF, they like house, but it's not so much everyone, all they can hear is just that kick, that hi-hat, that clap, and they're already moving. Like, they want to hear something more to it. So, you don't just, you kind of learn it with experience. But so for when I'm at UCF, I play obviously house because I enjoy it and people enjoy it too. It's like scientifically proven to like get your heart pumping faster. There's some science behind it, but I'll play a lot of house remixes with like vocals that people know, with hot songs that just came out or classics, like on top of it, whether it's like a live mashup or just a remix that someone did, a house remix. That's good. So it's just the biggest advice for them, for anyone that's wanting to DJ and learn how to DJ and be a good DJ, is knowing who you're playing for and what they enjoy, and then winning the crowd over. So for me, every set, the first 45 minutes to an hour is the most important, because you can win the crowd over by playing the songs they want to hear. Once they start drinking and they're already vibing to your music and stuff, there's little you can do to like have them be mad at you unless you like cut a beat right before it drops. But kind of just winning that crowd over, it's really important because the crowd's on your side. There's not much you can do wrong when you DJ besides song selection, but that's not too bad.
So, would you ever go like from house to like something that's out of left field, or have you ever done that?
There is DJs I know that do that, especially ones at my place that I go to, but I try to be consistent with the songs I play because like at the same time I'm DJing there, but like I'm also taking my career seriously, so I don't want to be known for being that DJ that plays exactly what he wants to hear or she wants to hear versus what the crowd wants to hear. So I'll throw in every now and then like a future-based song that hits really hard and nice, but I'll always like throw an acapella over it so people are singing to it and they know. So I usually don't play, like I'm really like preserved as a DJ, honestly. I have my set of songs, like not set of songs, I have the genre that I play and the vibe, and like I'm confident like I can get the night done with those songs. I'll add music all the time, like to my library and stuff, but it's more so like sometimes I'm scared. Like I want every song. Like I want to start here at the beginning of the night and end here, and just have it be a steady incline of song selection of what they want. So I don't know. I'll throw in some left fields, but not usually. Like sometimes I will. I don't know. I'm more preserved as a DJ. I'll be honest, but that's also because I'm young and I still have to build that like respect and audience and all that. So.
Yeah. Well, you got time. Keep it up.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got time. Speaking.
So do you create your own mashups and put them in your live sets, or are you using other people's remixes and stuff?
So a little both. There's some mashups like from Austin James I'll use. From some of my producer buddies that make mashups, we'll send them back and forth to each other so we can play in each other's sets. I'll have my mashups that I'll play. And then I also do live mashups. So most people, I don't know if you know DJ software, but most people use either Rekordbox or Serato, and that's like the two like industry standard softwares. But I use Virtual DJ, and there's an effect that you can do on the mixer, where if you turn down all the lows, boost all the mids, and turn down all the highs, it'll isolate the vocal of a song. So I do a lot of live mashups in key. So sometimes I'll just have one song playing, I'll turn the mids down on my instrumentals, or just the normal song, and it'll become an instrumental, taking vocals out, and then I'll just add in acapella, and it'll sound like an acapella, but it's the real song, but it's the software that can do it. So yeah, a mix of everything. Sometimes I'll do that, sometimes I'll have my friends mashups, sometimes I'll have producers mashups, or just mine. So it just depends really, but I like to mix in key because that just sounds the best for me when mashing songs.
Cool. So regarding music production, what is your favorite synthesizer VST and your effects plugin?
So I literally just started like a couple months ago, like seriously downloading plugins and stuff, because I always like was afraid to spend money on music just because I didn't know if it was just like something I want to do for sure. But now I'm at the point where I want to do this for the rest of my life, so I'm investing a lot. So right now for the genre of music I'm making right now, which is like a future house vibe almost, or just a dance house. I love Serum is great just for any type of sound design for a saw wave, which I use a lot. It's for for any type of sound design, but I use Serum a lot. For piano, because I use piano in most of my tracks, I have Alicia's keys. It's through Contact, but I think I'm gonna upgrade to Addictive Keys. I've tried out the demo; it's pretty awesome. And then Silent is awesome. Just for I use Silent a lot for leads and like little pluck noises and like arpeggiators, which are great for that. So I'd say Serum and Silent are my favorite, and then Contact is what I use the most, just for piano.
So what about your favorite effects? You have one?
I use Kickstart all the time, just because a lot of my tracks are just up tempo, and I use Kickstart. But even if I'm working in like 100 beats per minute track, the side chain, it's just so clean. It's really good just for adding a little bounce. But aside from that, I just downloaded Vinyl Isotope. I don't know if you've heard it or used it, but that's awesome. I love that. And then I just also downloaded RC20.
How's that?
For color. It's awesome, dude. There's so many effects with it. There's presets they give you for like drums or any type of instruments, but you can also just affect any instrument, and it sounds awesome. You can do like a wobble effect, reverb effect, white noise effect. You can change different sounds with it. Spacious effect. It's pretty good. I recommend it. It brings a lot of life to any instrument that's kind of like sounding a little dead or MIDI.
Are you able to share any secret tips that you may have regarding music production or DJing?
Regarding music, I don't really have secret tips. More just like how for production. A tip that I give to anyone that's like thinking about starting it, like it's when you see the software that you download, it's gonna be really intimidating. But I've only been like seriously producing on the software, like understanding everything for maybe about a year. So like obviously I put a lot of work in during the year and each day, but it's not as intimidating as it looks because you're just gonna continue to learn about the software and everything. So just for production, don't be intimidated by such a big software. It's meant to be that big so you can do all these effects and stuff. But DJing tip, just play for the crowd. Like obviously I'd love to play all my music library and everything I'm listening to, but that's not what everyone else wants to listen to. So if you want to be a great DJ and get complimented, play for the crowd, play for what they want, understand the songs they like, what they don't like, mix it all in, and then that's my best tip for DJing, so to say. Just don't play for yourself.
So going back to what you said about the producing part, you said that it was somewhat intimidating for you and you put a lot of work in your first year. How far would you say you've come from that time to like winning your remix competition on your song, right?
Which one?
I think it was Lie or something like that. Or
Liar Liar?
Yeah.
Oh, so that one, that one was, that wasn't a remix competition with Kaz.
It wasn't? Okay.
The remix competition was with Kaz though.
Okay.
Can we go back that one? So, it's hard for me to see it just because like I'm the one doing the work and stuff, but like I'll be honest, like a year ago, I'll listen to some of my demos and it was bad. Like it was really bad. And not saying my stuff is great now, but I've really in the last year, because about last year is when I started to feel comfortable with my software. So from last year till now, I've been really honing in on working to make everything sound like professional level. Because if it can sound professional level, then the rest is not too hard. Just sound selection and where stuff comes, and that's natural for musicians and stuff. So I worked really hard on just making my stuff sound professional. So I'd say I've come a long way, but not to where like I still hear my stuff and I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound at all professional. But then engineers help it out and stuff, just with the sound levels and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
if you can sound professional and it's like a good clean mix, and you get an engineer and you send him your work or her, sorry, and you get it mixed and mastered, it's crazy what it can do to a track as long as like the other half is on you. Like you can't if it's a crappy track, it's still gonna sound crappy if you get it mixed.
Yeah.
But if it's something good and it's more so like working to get it to that professional level, engineers are awesome. So that's what they're made for. Yeah.
Okay. So engineers, way to go. But also having a good track helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have both, but engineers are essential. It's funny. I just started working with an engineer like a month ago, and I haven't been to now. But it's crazy. If you listen to, I did my latest release on SoundCloud that I just posted yesterday was a remix for Nitty Gritty for his remix competition, and that was professionally mixed and mastered. And if you go to the remix before that, it's kind of the same vibe, but it wasn't professionally mixed and mastered, and like you'll hear a difference if you're a producer. So if you want to hear a difference, go to those tracks. You'll see.
Definitely. So what is your favorite EDM track right now, and what is your least favorite?
All right, favorite one right now. Let me check my playlist because it changes every day. I don't make playlists. I just like songs.
Yeah.
Right now is Jake Wolf's remix of Anti Everything by Lost Kings. I've listened to that like 6 times already today, and I've only been up for a couple hours. But that's definitely my favorite. It's funny. I discovered these songs a couple years ago, and then I rediscovered them, so it's great. My least favorite?
A few moments later.
I don't like I forget what the genre is called. It's called like drum and bass or something.
Yeah, drum and bass.
It's just a really super fast like drum pattern. I don't like any of that. I like more like emotion and music, and whether it's happy emotion, sad emotion, any of that. So anything that's just like really drum heavy, I've never been drawn to, but that's just my personal preference. So I don't have an exact track that is my least favorite right now besides like Gangnam Style, but
Gangnam Style.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, it's catchy, but
Yeah.
But yeah.
What is one mistake you see a lot of upcoming DJs make?
I wouldn't call it a mistake, but one thing that a lot of DJs do that I guess kind of annoys me, and this is just the DJing side, not production-wise, is there's nothing wrong with echoing out a track or going to the next track and it stops, but like for me, when I DJ, I want it to be like, think of it as like, if I'm going on for 5 hours from 9 to 2, I want it to be 5 hours of continuous, like a 5-hour big booty mix, and just make it the best possible. A lot of times they'll be like echoing out and stopping, and like right before the beat drops, they'll cut everything, and like there's no lyrics for anyone to sing. So like just like little stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not too like picky. Like obviously, like the echo outs, that's a good thing. That's what happens, especially on like CDJs and stuff. Like you have to do that. But I don't know. Just any DJ who goes to a venue and like they just like aren't ready for it. Like as a DJ, I can tell like if you're ready for a certain venue or knowing your crowd, so to say. So if they aren't, like that would be my biggest tip. Like, or that wasn't not the biggest tip, but what was the biggest thing? Oh, just like knowing where you're gonna go, and that's the biggest thing that people kind of mess up on. And they'll be playing at a bar, like when I say bar, not like an old person bar, but like they'll be playing like super hard, like festival style stuff at a bar. It's like you can't be playing that. And especially a big thing also is when you play songs, because there can be a song that everyone's gonna love, but if you play it 30 to 45 minutes right when everyone got there, everyone's gonna be like, oh, like I'm not in the right mindset for this, and I'm drunk enough, or I don't know. It's song placement's important as well. So just that's what I say.
So over excessive special effects on tracks and bad song choosing.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of like flanger and phaser and stuff, but like
Yeah.
the less the better, and that's with production as well. And that's something you have to learn, like just through experience and stuff. Like the less is better. Like people don't like at bars if it's not a show for Leondis, people are just coming to drink and listen to good music. So they're not here for someone to do some crazy James hype transition. Like obviously it's not cool, but
Yeah.
like they're not here for that. So unless you're gonna absolutely kill it, then just stick to playing the music, I'd say.
All right, just a couple more. I think we have like four more.
Oh man, let's go.
What has been the biggest milestone in your music career so far?
I'd say the Two Friends remix. That was awesome, especially for being like my first release ever. So that was awesome milestone. So that was like literally, I don't tell people this, but that was like, I was still like in like my future bass production phase. And that track was actually literally the first dance track I ever produced. And it may sound good now, but when I sent it to them, I don't know what Matt and Eli heard that they thought this would be good for release because it was not good. I can show you it. But the demo was horrible. It was mixed horribly, weird sounding, all this stuff. But that honestly, like, that would probably be my biggest milestone thus far. Just because I take a lot more pride in like my production than DJing. Like obviously opening for a big name is awesome, but like I take a lot of pride in like the production aspect because you can't be a successful DJ without being a producer as well. So probably the Two Friends remix for now, but who knows what's to come. So maybe hopefully that milestone will change. But right now probably the Two Friends remix. Just getting feedback, not feedback, just getting like support and love from like Steve Aoki and his label was just sick. So
The mock all the way.
I know they're great.
Okay, so what is one person in the music industry that you would love to collab with?
Probably Jeremy Zucker, or that's for his vocal wise because I love his vocals. He's got an awesome voice. For production wise, I'd love to collab with. I'm not gonna be basic here and say Lennon because he's awesome. I would want to do Machine Gun Kelly because he's got this new punk alternative feel to him, and I feel like his vocals and even his guitars and stuff and Travis Barker drums would be absolutely sick on a high energy EDM track. So Machine Gun Kelly.
That sounds actually dope.
Yeah, I think it'd be so sick.
Okay, so a couple random questions. What is your favorite game?
I don't play a lot of video games. I've never been a big video game guy. Fortnite, it's so stupid, but it's addicting. I gotta say Fortnite. But I like have like these weird phases where I'll go in and like I won't have played for like a year, and then I'll go play one game with my friends, and it's like, fuck, I'm gonna probably play this for the next couple months. So yeah, I'd say Fortnite. Great, dude.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite movie?
Oh gosh, you guys these questions. I don't really watch it. Dude, like, I watch a lot of documentaries. I would say my favorite movie would be 21 Jump Street. It's a classic, I'd say.
Definitely, yeah. The movie good. And this is the final question. What's your favorite sport and your favorite team?
Basketball, and favorite team, Syracuse Orange Men, college basketball.
All right. Sweet.
la 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 la